Hey G-Fans, gojifan93 here, and welcome back to day 24 of Godzilla-thon 2014. Today we'll be taking a look at Godzilla 2000, the beginning of the Millennium series. Now, first off, this is my second recording of this. I spent like 15 minutes doing this already, and what happened is the reason why I'm not wearing my clip-on audio thing is because my camcorder has to recharge right now. It's recharging as I speak, and the reason why I'm doing it this way is because the camcorder for some reason takes forever to recharge, so I just needed to get the video out though before it got too late. So, well, what happened was I was an idiot and for some reason plugged in the audio jack and then it fucked up the audio, so now I have to do this re-recording. So hopefully I'll bring up my good points that I just said. So yeah. Anyways, Godzilla 2000. So here we are. So this is the beginning of the Millennium series, and sort of a way for Toho. Obviously, you know, when Godzilla 98 was a flop, they said, okay, well, you know, we have to make Godzilla, you know, we have to bring him back into the American audience, as in, this is Godzilla, not that. Because, you know, it's kind of a slander on the franchise. You know, everyone was thinking that was Godzilla, and they're like, no, 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 no. So they did this, and, you know, first off, I just want to talk about the design. Obviously, they brought him back to what Godzilla should look like, but everything is a little bit more exaggerated. I mean, the spikes are extremely exaggerated. Oh, and by the way, this is my X Plus figure. Really awesome figure. It's just awesome. Anyways, but yeah, so the spikes are just exaggerated. Everything, his skin, his scales, even the neck. I love the neck part that they did, like this kind of, I don't know what to say, but it's just like this really awesome design there. He just looks really ferocious and everything. I love this. I love this design. And the suit is really good too. Now his spikes are not as purple like this in this movie, but in Megaguirus they definitely make him more purple. Also, Godzilla gets a new enemy, an original opponent, which is really awesome because when this was supposed to be a reboot, so, you know, I wonder how fans, you know, were reacting when this film was first coming out. Obviously, when this film was coming out, we didn't have the internet that we had today, so there wasn't a lot of speculation. People couldn't communicate with each other and all that. You know, it was mostly just, okay, well, we'll see how it is. But still, it's kind of like in the same boat as we are right now. The Muto, an original character. Orga was an original character for this movie. And obviously, I mean, I love Orga too. Orga's a really awesome character. And something that was interesting is, you know, is Orga also a mutant at the same time being an alien? Because I know his main faction is being an alien, but because in the movie what Orga tries to do is to adapt to the Earth's atmosphere, is that he tries to replicate, you know, organisms that are on the planet. So what he does is that he wants Godzilla's cells. So he gets Godzilla's cells, and basically, you know, and that's what creates Orga. It's like this flying saucer thing that was underwater, and then, you know, after, like, for billions of years or whatever, and then it comes up and it tries to get Godzilla's, you know, cells to create the Orga creature. So I'm thinking, you know, is he, you know, he's kind of like a space monster, but he's also kind of a mutant because, you know, he was created with whatever, stuff like that. It's a lot of science, mumbo jumbo. It's a Godzilla movie. We don't need to, there's no logic. Anyways, yeah, but overall, the storyline is really cool. You know, what I really love about this is that it's not really changing up the formula of a Godzilla movie, but I love how they have the main characters. They're part of this. Well, they actually own and run this thing called the Godzilla Prevention Network, and I think it's like, that's such a cool thing because it's like tornado chasers, but instead of tornadoes, it's Godzilla. They're chasing Godzilla, and there's some really good landscape shots where, like, Godzilla's in the distance, and, you know, they're driving their car in the foreground, and, you know, they're kind of following Godzilla like a tornado. There's some really good shots where the camera's just panning around, and it just looks really good. Now, that kind of, you know, brings me into my next topic about this movie, is that the one thing that really brings this movie down for me is the special effects. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but this is just with me. Some of the things that are in this movie just look so fake. There's a lot of fake things in this. There's obviously sometimes when Godzilla is in the foreground, you can completely tell it's like green screened. There's some parts where even some simple shots that could completely be done practically, yet they for some reason decided let's CGI it and green screen it and all that, when like Godzilla's in water, and yet you can clearly tell that he's not really in that location. It's like both images were put together in Photoshop or something. It looks really bad. There's also some bad animation. I mean, there's some helicopters that are poorly textured and I mean, I know that this is 1999. Okay, I know this film came out in 1999, but it doesn't really make the excuse, because I gotta say, this movie compared to Godzilla 98, Godzilla 98 had better special effects. And don't tell me that's some bullshit because America has better technology than Japan, because I have a feeling Japan, they could have made this look more realistic by obviously doing more practical effects, which they're good at. And I have this argument because Gamera Revenge of Iris, or Gamera 3, part of the Heisei series, I believe that movie also came out in 1999. And that movie looks way superior than this one. I mean, that movie looks really good. That movie has the effects of like GMK, but like even better. So I don't know why Toho thought, maybe it was because they thought that they had to, you know, since they were bringing it into the American audience, they had to make it contemporary or mainstream, so they had to use CGI. And this is the one thing about the Millennium series that really pisses me off, is that they put CGI in some things. I mean, there's also a part where Godzilla's underwater in this movie, and he's just the worst looking computer generated thing I've ever seen. I mean, I'm like, oh my god, it hurts my eyes. It looked really bad if you haven't seen it, but for the people who do, you probably know what I'm talking about. Yeah, and also I want to talk about the differences between the Japanese version and the American version. Now, I was talking to Rich Iso about this kind of like a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about, I guess, with like Zilla 98, and how in this film I noticed that they kind of still used Godzilla 98's roar in Godzilla 2000, but Rich told me that in the Japanese version they actually use the normal Godzilla roar, just a little bit upgraded. And I didn't know that because I haven't seen the Japanese version. So what I did is I went on the internet and I found a little short clip of this film in its Japanese version, and wow, there's a huge difference between the Japanese and American versions. And I don't know if it's just because this was released for American theaters, but there's a huge difference with sound effects. Even the look, maybe it's just the look too. Maybe the special effects look worse because America tinkered with it or something. I don't know, but yeah, Godzilla's roar is completely different, and the music is also really different. And one thing is, like, when Godzilla's fighting Orga in the final battle, the music in the Japanese version is actually from the the soundtrack. It's the main theme or whatever when they're fighting. But in the American version, it's like this pumped up action music that doesn't really like make sense. It doesn't. I guess it sort of fits, but it sounds way better in the Japanese version. Also with sound effects, and this is the thing that I hate the most about this film. There's a lot of stock sound effects in this movie, and I doubt Toho put those in. I bet it was the American re-edit where they put all these Americanized sound effects. Like there's this one scene where Godzilla's spikes are charging up, and it was after Godzilla destroyed Orga, like, because he went inside his mouth and he exploded him. I'll talk about that later. But like when the smoke is clearing, you see Godzilla's spikes kind of glow. They use lightsaber sound effects. It's the whole I'm like, I don't need those sound effects in my Godzilla movie. I don't need that. And I highly doubt that was the same sound effects in the Japanese. I didn't watch the whole movie in the Japanese version, but that little clip showed me a lot. I mean, I was like, wow. And so those things bug me about this film. It's just the special effects, the stock sound effects. It kind of brings the movie down for me. But I still really love this film. Also because I did see this movie in theaters when it did come out, and I still remember seeing it in theaters. I actually don't remember seeing Godzilla 98 in theaters. I know I did, but I don't remember it. Probably for good reason. but Godzilla 2000, I definitely remember seeing it because I remember being so excited that, oh man, we're getting another Godzilla movie already. And I just remember the end credits, how cool it was to see the film and all that. Sadly, I do know that the film did not do well in America, obviously. I don't know how well it did in Japan. Maybe it did a little bit better. But this film really did not do well in America. I think it made... I don't know. I don't know prices. I'm not going to say because I don't want to act like an idiot, but it definitely did not do well. Godzilla 98 actually did better financially than Godzilla 2000 did in theaters, or U.S. theaters. So like I said, I don't know how it did, you know, globally or whatever. The good stuff about it, it's a really good... I mean, the last battle between Godzilla and Orga, it's awesome. I love the final battle. Probably one of my favorite battles. It's just, I mean, it's classic, you know, it's a classic battle between Godzilla and some other creature, and the part that's really weird that I was talking about with Godzilla going inside Orga's mouth is that Orga's trying, like I said in the beginning, Orga was trying to, he's basically trying to clone himself into Godzilla, and so what happens is towards the end of the battle, when Orga starts to realize that he can't win with Godzilla, that he decides to, they do a little bit of communication, which is kind of cool, and then Orga just unhinges his jaw and just like this, and then Godzilla's like, and he's smart, and he goes right in and just, goes in there, and then like, I love it when you see Orga's face like on Godzilla's like neck or whatever, and like, cause Godzilla's like in his mouth, and then all of a sudden you see his spikes start to charge like, and Orga's just like, oh shit, and this just huge explosion, and it's just awesome. It's so awesome. I love how Godzilla did that. That was probably one of the coolest deaths in Godzilla history. I think I even put that in my top 10 deaths of Godzilla movies or whatever. So yeah, but really awesome battle. Also I like the human villain, Katagiri, I believe was his name. He was just really cool. I don't know why, I just really liked him. And obviously a lot of, you know, people remember the end part where he gets killed by Godzilla, where he looks up and he's like, "Ha ha! Godzilla!" and then just breaks everything. That was really one of the best parts too. But yeah, overall this movie is just really awesome. I highly recommend getting it. You know, besides its flaws, I'm hoping, you know, if it'll come out on Blu-ray, but then I'm kind of scared of it being on Blu-ray because Blu-ray can kind of show the cracks in a movie, and I'm afraid because this movie is done poorly that the Blu-ray would make it look really bad. So I don't know, but I'll still get it on Blu-ray when it comes out because I don't know, I like I like collecting anything Godzilla. But yeah, anyways, this is as far the DVD that I know that's out. I don't really think there's any other release that's come out for America. I know that in, I think it was maybe Germany, there's actually, this film is on Blu-ray in Germany. And I know that Toho, they just came out, you know, with the rest of their Toho Blu-ray collection, so Godzilla 2000 now is available, I believe, in Toho Blu-ray. I'm not sure what website though, because those movies are kind of hard to find, and they're very expensive. So, but at least for America, I don't know. So hopefully, you know, 2014 does well, and we get this film on Blu-ray as a standalone film or a combination with some other film. I think it would be awesome if this film was a Blu-ray combo with Godzilla 1984. That would be so cool. Oh! So anyways, yeah, but really good movie though. The suit's awesome, the story's really cool. It's just the special effects can get in the way and can kind of take you out of the film. But still really love it, highly recommend watching it. It's very rewatchable, which is another good thing. Yeah, so that's all I got. So stay tuned for tomorrow for Godzilla vs. Megagearus, and we're getting closer and closer to Godzilla 2000. And yeah, so I'll see you guys till then. Stay big, G-fans.